You know that feeling, right? That strange paradox of our time, where we're more connected to everything and everyone than ever before, but somehow we feel more disconnected from ourselves. Well, today we're going to explore a path to finding our inner compass, especially in this age of overwhelming noise. This idea, it really gets to the very heart of it all, doesn't it? It suggests that all the chaos and anxiety we feel out in the world, well, maybe it isn't just coming at us. Maybe it's a reflection of a battle happening inside each of us. These powerful ideas were put together by Mir Ali Shah for the Inner Horizon podcast. And they're really more than just information, you know? They're an invitation to look inward, to go from just being informed by the world to actually revealing something true about ourselves. All right, so our journey starts with this modern paradox. We're living in an age of just unbelievable power and capability. And yet, it seems to come with this pervasive sense of anxiety. We've built all these modern wonders, but it feels like they have a strange side effect. I mean, just think about it. With a simple tap on a screen, you can be talking to someone on the complete other side of the planet, instantly. All those geographical barriers that shaped human history for thousands of years, they've pretty much vanished. We literally carry entire libraries around in our pockets. All of human knowledge, from ancient philosophy to the latest in quantum physics, is right there at our fingertips. Any question you have can be answered in seconds. And maybe the most incredible part? A single person, with just a phone, can build a massive following, shape global conversations, and reach millions of people. That kind of power used to belong to just a tiny few, and now it's in the hands of so many. And yet, with all that power, all that connection, all that knowledge, something just feels off. It's not like the world is ending or that everything is broken. It's something much quieter, a nagging feeling that we're all just a little bit misaligned. And this really points to a huge misunderstanding we have. We assume that if we just had more knowledge, we could fix our problems. But the reality is, a lot of the time, we know what we should be doing. The problem isn't a lack of information. It's a crisis of orientation. We don't have a sheriff compass pointing us in the right direction. And that feeling of misalignment, it's not new. It's not unique to us. When you actually look back through history, you start to see this hidden pattern, this rhythm, where different times and places produce the exact same result. The pattern is almost spooky in how consistent it is. Whenever a civilization's external power grows, its internal foundations start to crumble, often leading to collapse. When wealth goes up, you'd expect happiness to follow, but instead, anxiety rises with it. And as we get more and more raw knowledge without wisdom, it just makes us more confused. This isn't a coincidence. It's a rhythm baked into history. So this leads us to a really big shift in perspective. We are obsessed with trying to fix all the external systems, politics, the economy, technology. But what if we've been looking in the wrong place this whole time? What if the real battlefield, the one that actually shapes our reality, is the one inside us? Our modern world is an absolute expert at capturing our focus. It doesn't just ask for our attention, it actively seizes it with this constant storm of notifications, algorithm-driven feeds, and just an endless fire hose of input that's designed to keep us hooked and distracted. And here's why that matters so much. Your attention is not some neutral, passive thing you just have. It's the very currency of your life. Whatever you consistently pay attention to is what you will end up valuing, what you will end up believing, and ultimately who you become. Now, this constant internal battle for our attention, it totally corrupts our idea of success. We're trained to chase things the world can see and measure, that external validation, while completely ignoring the internal cost of that chase. Because as we're about to see, power doesn't fix us. Here's the hard truth. Power doesn't fix what's broken in us. It magnifies it. Having the ability to influence people or build something huge doesn't heal your insecurities. It just puts a megaphone to them. Your ego, your fears, they all just get louder. Society basically hands us this scorecard, right? And it's all based on external stuff. How much money you have, how much recognition you get, how visible you are. But all that completely misses the deeper, way more important question. In the process of chasing all that, what kind of person are you actually becoming? When it comes right down to it, the external world is just a mirror of our internal states. Our collective distraction becomes a society that's disoriented. Our individual fears scale up to become systemic paranoia. The world out there is just a reflection of the world in here. Okay, so if the problem is internal, then the solution has to be internal too. This brings us to the final and probably the most important part of this whole reflection, finding your center. The answer we're looking for is clarity. The way forward isn't about adding more things. It's about taking things away. It's a process of stripping back all the noise, all the labels people have put on you, all the expectations you've soaked up, until you're left with only what is real and essential. And in that quiet space, you can finally face the real questions. The first question is this one. What am I actually chasing? Not what I tell myself or other people I want, but what do my actions, day in and day out, prove I'm really pursuing? And then comes the question that haunts so many people, even very successful ones. Why does it still feel incomplete? After all that work, after all that striving, why is there still this feeling that something important is missing?
And all of that leads to the ultimate question. What actually matters? When you strip away the scorecards, when you turn down all the noise, what is left? The answer to that becomes the new foundation you can build your life on.
Maybe the core truth of our time is this. The world is not short on solutions. We have endless ideas and technologies. What we're short on is clarity about ourselves. We don't really understand what drives us, and until we do, we're just going to keep repeating the same old patterns, just on a bigger and bigger scale. So in the end, it all comes down to this. You don't need to read another article or watch another video. You don't need more information. You need a different center. The answer isn't more data. It's a fundamental internal shift, a reorientation. So the only question left to ask is, what's your center going to be?